Hello guys, this is Vysh. So the UPSC analysis continues. Students have been asking like when will be the Vysh versus UPSC full video come out. Last 2 years we have scored more than 50 questions out of the 100 from our test series, and this year also hopefully it will be there, even though it was very difficult compared to last year. So by the end of this polity, I'll tell you out of 50 questions, okay, because history, science we have already discussed, and polity including total 50 questions came. So in that 50, how many were solvable, I'll show you. Then the remaining 50, geography, environment, economics, we'll do as the next part of the series, okay. So here, polity questions, it came around 18 questions in 2021 prelims, and 5 were easy, 7 were medium, and some of them you can even consider easy because it is covered in Lakshmikant and standard textbook, but the phrasing of the question was little difficult, so I put it under medium. And again, same like that, 6 tough questions are there, in which 4 or 5 are definitely tough, and one of them was just because of the wording or phrasing, it is under tough category. Okay, so we'll discuss all of them, and please subscribe to this channel if you are new to this. And this series, if you have not watched science and history, please watch. This is not a video to explain you all the topic or teach you all the topic. That we'll do in our lecture series. This is to show you how tough it was and what were the sources from which UPSC asked a question. Why did UPSC ask you such a question this year? And what are the types it came? Whether standard textbook was helpful or not. Whether in Lakshmikant it was there. What to do from next time, etc., etc. All these things will be discussed here. Okay. So as I told, 18 questions came, out of which 5 are easy, 7 are medium, and 6 are tough according to our analysis. Okay, so this will vary from institute to institute, but this is our analysis based on how we teach students and all. We are approaching it that way. And answer keys also, I don't guarantee that my answer keys are the best answer key and this is the exact match with UPSC. We have to wait 1 year for that final answer key, but we'll tell as per the logic we know. Okay. So why it was tough? Tougher options. There were some questions which were very factual, and even if people tried eliminating one option, that won't be helping. You have to dig down every statement and you have to go to the very last resort. Okay, so that is how the options were tougher. Then GK theory is there, old historical fact is there, like how a particular department was formed, or this person contested in this many elections. That kind of factual things were there. Then textbook, Lakshmikant and NCERT is what people study at the most. And even if you study some Basu or any other textbook also, it doesn't matter. Questions came out of textbook. Question came directly from irrelevant newspapers and all. Okay, newspaper which are older, 2017, 19, and even news which you don't even care to read, from that questions have come. I'll show you that. Then debatable questions are there. At least 4 or 5 I think are debatable. Okay, meaning my answer key may not be correct. So we have to wait for the answer key for many of those. And if you are new to this channel, please go and check all the playlist. Everything is completely free. Editorial is going on every day. I am myself taking it. Then there is subject lectures in both Hindi and English. That is for both prelims and mains, NCERT as well as standard books. Everything, okay, everything what you can imagine for UPSC is being covered free of cost. But one by one, playlists are getting shut down because of the poor response. So if you don't participate, you are going to lose out on such a golden set of lectures. Okay. So again, subscribe to both Vysh Ias and Vysh Courses channel. There also everything is there, picked up from Indian Express and Times Now and Financial Express. Various newspapers are covered. So next year and all, almost everything which comes in from news in UPSC exam will be there on our channel. Okay. Now first we'll see the easy questions, and this is easy not for beginners or people who don't study. This is for people who have read the Lakshmikant, who have followed one good test series, who have studied or went to classes regularly for 1 year. For them it is easy. Okay. Else every question you will find a UPSC question difficult only. Okay. So first question, what was the exact constitutional status of India on 26 January 1950? So this is just a way of asking, like preamble, whether it got amended, or constitution, whether it got amended, what is India like at that time. So that basic thing they're asking. And in our test series also we have similar type of questions, not exactly the same, like November 26, 1949, what was the, what came into effect. So we phrased a similar question, and in which we have already told the constitution came into effect on 26 January 1950. So that is what exactly the time they're asking. When constitution got into effect, what was the Indian constitution like? Okay, so these words everybody knows, it's from the preamble. You just need to know at this particular date what it was, meaning in the beginning of the constitution, how it was. So already we have a detailed lecture series also, detailed test series also. This is my lecture which I took on January 31, 2021. So if you have watched it, you will know. Here I have told 42nd Amendment 1976. These 3 words changed to these 5 words. Okay. So sovereign democratic republic changed to social secular democratic republic. Okay. Sovereign social. So this is a very easy. And this and all, if you don't solve right, then you are actually preparing from the wrong source, or you are not even ready. Okay. So please see to it that basic questions of polity are solved, because every year when UPSC asks about 18 questions, 10 of them will be easy, and you have to do that. If you don't do that, then you are not going to score the cutoff. Okay. So here it's very easy. Sovereign democratic republic is the status in 26 January 1950, because in 1976 only the other words were added by the 42nd Amendment. Okay. So this is a very simple, straightforward question. Now next one. Constitutional government means what? This is a repeat question. Last year 2020 also it was asked, 2014 also similar kind of phrasing, one statement was there. So this is a very again, if you did not do previous year papers, again you are not ready for this exam. Okay, you were supposed to do last 10 to 15 years of question paper, and this is just last year's, meaning 2021 exam. When you are going, at least 2020 question paper you should have read. So in that also, and in our test series various places it told like our constitution does not have unlimited power, we have to stick to the basic structure of the constitution. The parliament and executive or judiciary, they are three organs and they interfere with each other, so nobody has unlimited power. Okay, so that is what is our government, constitutional government. Okay, limited powers of the parliament is what is there, our clause. Okay, so again, last year's video, I have a Vysh versus UPSC video last year. In that also, we have claims. See, October 14, after last year's prelims, October 14, 2020, we had made. So here if we see limited government. Okay, constitutional government is defined by limited government. So it is the same thing again option D. Okay, so straightforward, 2 questions. Now, at national level, which ministry is the nodal agency to ensure effective implementation of the scheduled tribes and other traditional forest dwellers? So this again, tribal thing, last year same type question came. Okay, same means almost same. Instead of scheduled tribe act, they gave a different act, but they again asked the ministry only. And that time I told you, whenever tribal people come, whenever forest people come, their these things, okay, their rights or habitat, and these are not decided by environment ministry. They purposely put environment ministry always in the first option, but that is wrong. It is Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Okay, so that also in various places in our test series we have told Minister of Tribal Affairs is the one in charge of all the tribal schemes, forest dweller schemes, everything is in charge is like tribal ministry. So this, if you see again 2018 prelims, okay, 2018 it was asked. 2018 when we discussed, we have a video in that we told again same thing. If you see here, Union Minister of Environment deals with the habitat rights of vulnerable tribal group. So that same thing in the form of act they put, that's all. So here again, it was easy. 3 you have to eliminate, and 1 and 2 was the answer. And here again, Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So it's a direct questions which I am telling you should have done it. And every series, almost every of my student who learned from our test series or lectures, they have solved it easily. There's no complication in this. Complicated questions will come later. Okay. So 3 out of 3. Now with reference to India, consider the following statements. So this again very easy because options were very easy. Okay. So if you see here, there is only one citizenship and one domicile. So earlier when Jammu and Kashmir, this 370 article was there and all, maybe you will get confusion, but that is all gone now. Okay. And another thing, a second statement is very easy. A citizen by birth only can become the head of the state. Okay, so this is actually a US thing. Okay, and that is there in your Lakshmikant itself. Lakshmikant citizenship chapter, in your president chapter, both places it is given. So this actually, see, statements are interchanged. Okay, the true one is in India, a citizen by birth and naturalization both can contest. Okay, there is nothing like, because they are asking India only. Here they are telling only by birth. That is wrong. So eliminate 2. Because that is a clause of USA, like Obama or Trump. They have to be born there, only then they became the president. But in India, nothing like that. In naturalization, registration, however it is, you can become the president. Okay, so here if you see, 2 is wrong, means you eliminate this and this. So 1 is automatically true. So there is one citizenship and one domicile. Now the third one is again a very absurd statement. If you see, a foreigner once granted the citizenship cannot be deprived it under any circumstances. That is a foolishness. You can think with common sense. Like anybody can be deprived of citizenship. There are 4-5 methods by which loss of citizenship is there. That is given clearly in your Lakshmikant. In our test series and lecture it is covered. If there is a fraud committed, or if they go and acquire the citizenship of some other country or something they do, the citizenship can go. So 3 is a blunder statement. Okay, so that also will go away. Foreigner once granted citizenship cannot be deprived is a blunder statement. So eliminate 3 also. So you get the answer as 1 only. So it's a very easy because the statements were easy. But sometimes UPSC form very difficult statements that you get confused in the exam hall. Okay, so single citizenship and these things are common. And again, as I told, we have lectures also where I declare full detail. We covered citizenship. Then here if you see loss of citizenship, there are different methods, renunciation, termination. It applies to anyone who got the Indian citizenship. Their citizenship can be revoked. There is nothing like foreigner or anything, or this is very absurd. Okay, so that anyone could have guessed it. Now next one, right to privacy is protected under which article? So this one in Lakshmikant, here at one point it is mentioned under article 21. Same like that under right to life. Okay, so again if you see here, various news articles over the last 4, 5, 6 years in different court cases it was there, and almost all current affair magazine, all polity test, all the full test, at least one time it would have mentioned. See here, right to privacy is under article 21. Here right to be forgotten were discussed. Here right to life, article 21. Here also right to privacy is there. Okay, this is if you see final full test 3, final full test 5. And here if you see April current affair, here also somewhere it will be there. Okay, right to privacy is mentioned here. Because the movie also came, okay, like you should not make a movie on somebody's life. Like that, right to privacy related thing was going on, coming in news. Okay, repeatedly it was coming. February 2021, again it is in news if you see article 21. So this was given in almost every newspaper. See, data protection and privacy bill is there. In that also article 21 is mentioned. So that was the easy questions. So this 4-5 questions which I showed you, if you have not done, then it will be very like more disappointing when you see the remaining questions. Okay, this you should have all done it. I hope you have all done it. You are my student or not, it doesn't matter. Now medium. Here medium as I title, Lakshmikant is there plus little bit of application, meaning the straightforward thing is not asked. Like here it is like right to privacy, direct question. But medium, it will be a little bit complicated. You have to understand and then apply your knowledge. Okay. So under the Indian Constitution, the concentration of wealth violates. So this also, I don't know why many people are complicating it and telling different answers for it. Okay, maybe because you're thinking the concept of welfare is coming and all. But in the verbatim, in the correct article itself, it is written. Okay, this concentration of wealth is written in your constitution. I will show you that. Okay, so here if you see DPSP, what is concentration of wealth? Concentration of wealth means the people are like not having, what to say, everyone not having the same kind of thing, okay, opportunities, or somebody is just piling up the money. So that is like economic democracy which you indirectly intend. So that is multiple times mentioned in Lakshmikant itself, here and there it is mentioned. And the Article 39 also, if you know Article 39 what it is, Article 39C, operation of the economic system does not result in the concentration of wealth. This is what is DPSP. DPSP's Article 39 is also one of the DPSP. Okay, so this is written there in the constitution, so you don't have to simply complicate it with different options. Okay, so here according to us the answer is DPSP only. It violates DPSP. So please take this as our answer key. If you have still some other answer key, some other very what to say, complicated analysis to it and want to tell like it is a concept of welfare or right to equality, then you can simply keep it, but next year only we can confirm it. According to us, this is a very straightforward question. Economy concentrating wealth is against the DPSP. Okay. Now, which one of the following in Indian polity is an essential feature that indicates that it is federal in character? This again, there is a controversy between these two things, and we also think both of them can be the answer. Okay, because if you take Rajya Sabha, how it is a part of union legislature and it has a representative from the states. Okay, the constituent unit is states, so it has it. So it can be true. B is true. But independence of judiciary is also a feature of federal federal government. That is there in your Lakshmikant. It is there in your NCERT. Okay, this is a Lakshmikant question. If you see chapter 1 to 6 in the salient features, it is mentioned. Okay, independent judiciary is a part of this thing. So that is one answer, one place Lakshmikant. And in this NCERT screenshot, in NCERT also there is there like federal system means federalism. Independent judiciary should be there. Okay, so that way. Both the things looks correct, but when UPSC always keeps this kind of word essential feature or best describes what or most appropriate, that time it becomes like a CSAT question. So UPSC is the best judge. Okay, so maybe again here our answer will still tell A only, independence judiciary is safeguarded. Okay, this is my answer key, and the other one, it is true, but essential feature also, it is again as I told, it is true, but UPSC has to pick the one. Okay, so we'll see what the answer key comes, but according to us I'll tell the answer as A. Now, with reference to Indian judiciary, consider the following statement. Any retired judge of the Supreme Court of India can be called back to sit and act as a Supreme Court judge by the Chief Justice of India with prior permission from the President of India. So this is what they are testing. Okay, so that if you see, it is a true statement. It's a Lakshmikant thing. Okay, CGI can request anyone to come back and act as a Supreme Court judge, but with the previous consent of the President. It is there in your polity. Okay, in polity test number 11, the full test number 3. In this we have covered it. It's there in Lakshmikant. It's not like we dig out from somewhere else. It is there in your Lakshmikant. It's a direct question. Okay, so statement 1 is true. Now, a High Court in India has the power to review its own judgment as the Supreme Court does. This also 90% of you will know, like High Court and Supreme Court have almost everything as the same equal powers only. Only thing is the hierarchy level is still different, but remaining powers are almost same only. Okay, so that also in different places we have told judicial review is a part of basic structure, and both High Court and Supreme Court has the same power. Okay, both of them has the power judicial review, but here the question is not exactly about judicial review. Okay, judicial review means you are checking the constitution, like Supreme Court and High Court, they are checking whether Parliament made a law. Okay, whether it is according to the constitution correct or not, that is called judicial review. But here they are asking review its own judgment. So this is not what is required here. Okay, they're asking its own judgment, whether can they correct it or whether they can review it, whether they can modify it, that they can do or not. So that again we have a different MCQ. If you see here, polity test number 2, the full test number 2. Okay, that is test number 10 I think totally. So here if you see, Constitution has given the powers to correct its own judgment to which court? So here we are telling Supreme Court as the answer. Okay, and here in explanation we have given High Court can also do it, but it is not directly mentioned in the Constitution. Okay, because there is a concept called court of record. Okay, you should know court of record. Okay, meaning court's thing is taken everywhere. Okay, so that thing they have the powers also. Article number 226, I think, High Courts, in that also it will be mentioned, Court of Record. So this one is applicable to both High Court and Supreme Court, but for Supreme Court it is like very explicitly mentioned that it can correct its own judgment. For High Court it's indirectly mentioned. Here they are not asking whether in Constitution it is mentioned directly or not. They are just asking with respect to Indian judiciary whether it is correct or not. So yes, both of them has this thing. Okay, both of them can review its own judgment, modify it, correct it. They can do whatever they want. Okay, so that is true, and answer is both 1 and 2. Okay, this and all in test series it was there, but in various parts. So you had to ideally revise the test again and again. Okay, because that's why I put in medium category. These are not very straightforward direct thing. In the exam hall you had to little bit think and apply your brain. Okay, next one. We adopted parliamentary democracy based on the British model, but how does our model differ from that model? So comparison of constitution, comparison of parliaments, this is a part of your syllabus and it was expected question only. Okay, UPSC has already asked multiple times, like from Ireland what happened, from USA what happened. So this is an expected question. So here if you see, as regards legislation, the British Parliament is supreme or sovereign, but in India, the power of the Parliament to legislate is limited. Okay, just now we saw already like the limitation of Indian government. Okay, but British, they don't have that constitution concept and all. They are like Parliament is the supreme thing. So that is a true statement. Okay, it's there in your Lakshmikant textbook. Straightforward question it is. Okay, so this is actually true. Second one, in India, matters related to the constitutionality of the amendment of an act of the Parliament. Okay, amendment of an act of the Parliament are referred to the Constitution bench by the Supreme Court. So this also is there directly in almost every page of Lakshmikant. Okay, wherever there has been a judgment, wherever there has been a doubt regarding 24th Amendment, 27th, any amendment, it has been referred to bench. It has been referred to 5-member bench, 7-member bench, 13-member bench. It has been going like that. So why this was asked? Because in 2017-18, I think there was a news item where a permanent bench was first time Supreme Court told, like, okay, for the first time, permanent bench will be allotted. A 5-member permanent bench will be allotted. To look into these things, amendment of an act, anything is the problem, constitutionality, that checking, there is a permanent bench. That is the reason this statement is asked, we believe. Okay, so here also the answer will be again both 1 and 2. Okay, so that in our test series, again if you see, Indian Parliament is not sovereign as British thing. In our lecture also we have covered in salient features that Indian Parliament is not a sovereign body like that of British. So first one was a very easy, straightforward one. Second one, because the statement is a little bit tricky and nobody teaches you directly, people had a confusion because it is like an interpretation. It is there in multiple places. Okay, a 5-bench judge is there for interpretation of the constitution or any amendment act. That in various screenshot I'll show you. Okay, here if you see Chief Justice, they are the ones who allocate constitute benches to allocate cases to the benches. Okay, so Supreme Court does it. That also you should not have any confusion. Then here if you see interpretation of the constitution, 5 benches allotted. Here if you see again 13 members allotted for the validity of the 24th constitutional amendment. So like that, whenever an amendment is there to check the constitutionality, a bench can be allotted, and that is done by the Supreme Court only. Okay. So here again, this is the news item. For the first time in nearly 70 years, Supreme Court is set to realize the dream of constitution framers by creating a permanent 5-bench constitution thing. Okay, because at least 5 judges should be there. That is already there. But a permanent thing was not there. So what happens is whenever they need to set up a bench, they have to see like who is free, who is available, and they have to do. That was a lot of like tedious process. So they permanently made a 5-bench now. So they will look into all these complex constitutional questions. Okay, so this is the reason we think the question was framed. Okay. Now, Bharat Ratna question. This I don't know whether I discussed already in the history part, but still. Okay, consider the following statements in respect to these awards. So, because this article is there, I put it under polity. Okay, so this is clearly given again in your Lakshmikant. Okay, if you see here, we have a polity full test 1 again. Here, if you see article 18, it's telling these things, Padma Bhushan, Bharat Ratna, these are all not to be treated as a category of title. Okay, this is not covered under this thing. But problem is students saw this, okay, this is wrong, and so 1 eliminate and answers 2 and 3. But read this question, they're asking for not correct. Many students did not read this, and UPSC exactly played with their mind. Okay, they would have seen like, okay, first 1, second and third are factual things. So UPSC put a very simple question and they put as 2 and 3. But this is a blunder. Actually 2 and 3 you have to eliminate because you need 1 in the answer. Okay, because they are asking incorrect statement. 1 is an incorrect statement. Okay, so that is why this was a very, like, that's why I put in medium. Okay, people would not have noticed this not correct thing. So it's a very sad thing for people who have done that. Simply minus 0.66 marks will come. Okay, because they did not read that not correct part. So this is the first one. Now second and third, it's actually there in our older test, which many of you did not enroll. Only I think 10 to 15% people of the total enrolled people came and bought my older 2016 to 18 set of current affairs and all. Because I always tell, please go and see the older one. In that we would have mentioned a lot of static part also. So here if you see Bharat Ratna, we have told they are restricted to a maximum of 3 in a year, but they are here telling 5 in a year. So this is a wrong statement. Padma Awards, if you see 1954 it was there, and it was 2 times stopped, okay, like 1978 time and 93 97 time, 2 times they were stopped. So only once suspended, that is also wrong. So answer is 1 2 3 1 2 3 all are wrong. Okay, so this was a very difficult question because the second and 3 are very factual statement. Nobody is expected to by heart this. Even if you had bought this test series and this one, I don't expect you to remember this. So it's a very, very difficult question. You should have ideally skipped it or taken a chance. Okay, it's a very, very difficult question because of the options. Now the definition of state. This again we have to wait for the answer key, because basic definition, okay, NCERT definition if you take, it should have territory, it should have people, it should have government, it should have sovereignty. Okay, this is the definition of state as per NCERT and our sociology lectures which we have done, Indian society lectures we have done. In the very first episode we have told this only. So we believe this is the answer. Okay, but again there is statement in NCERTs and some places. Okay, like if you take the NCERT screenshot, if you see Indian Constitution, NCERT, in this it is there, the same thing, sovereignty, government, territory, population, everything will be there. But there is a thing like the state refers to more than just the government and cannot be used interchangeably with it. So more than the government means it need not be just the organized government, can be like this maintaining law and order, natural rights, means of sustenance, this can also come. So answer is doubtful between A and B. Okay, basic definition is A, but if you think little bit ahead, it can be B also. So that is why this we have to wait for answer key. We cannot directly claim it. Okay, if it's A means well and good, what we exactly taught you, that is the answer. But else we also will not be able to claim this. Okay. So this is the thing. It's taken, I won't tell it is taken directly from NCERT because it's a very difficult phrasing of options they have done. Okay, so this also, if you did not know, you could have skipped it. Next year again, please don't be surprised if they ask like the term population is best described by, or term community is best described by. They can ask anything. Okay, UPSC is going to like that kind of levels that they're asking anything, whatever they like. Okay, now what is the position of right to property in India? So right to property in India, here again if you see, it is a repetition. Okay, already once UPSC is asked like what is this, and that time also options were fundamental right, legal right, constitutional right, these things were there. So you should at least by then know that it is a legal right. Okay, it is not a fundamental right, that basic thing, because it was a fundamental right starting and then it was moved. It is there in your Lakshmikant, very basic thing. So this one it will go away because it is a legal right. This one it will go away because it is not a fundamental right. Now the only thing is people are confused because legal right is sure. Okay, only thing is now citizens only or persons. So when you think in the exam hall, maybe you will think, yeah, it is only for citizens. How can outsiders be given this thing? That is there. But in article, if you see, okay, what is mentioned in the article 300A, to which it was moved, okay, from article the starting part, it was moved to the legal part. That time it is mentioned no person shall be derived of his property. So as per the verbatim, if you see, it is for person. So answer should be B. Okay, so sorry, the answer should be B. Okay, so that is mentioned, it's there in our test. Okay, chapter 7 to 11, the fundamental rights chapter itself, it is there. So answer should be B, but still there are controversies going on, like it can be A, it can be B. So that's why we are telling we have to wait for the answer key. Okay, but according to us the answer should be B. Okay, any person. Okay, so that were the medium part. So we have discussed 5 that thing, and 7, 12 questions are over, and out of that 12, I think 10 of them were solvable from our test, and 1 or 2 is like because of the answer key weighting, I am telling 10 out of 12. It's like 12 out of 12 itself I can consider. Okay, because this is what a person can teach you, person can write, and there's the maximum you can do. Now the tougher questions, okay, which most of you would have done it incorrect. So this one, many people did correct also, but again there is a little bit of controversy here. A legislation which confers on the executive or administrative authority an unguided and uncontrolled discretionary power. Okay, uncontrolled discretionary power in the matter of application of law violates which one of the following? So this, when straight, if you think, it is article 14. Okay, if somebody gets uncontrolled power and lot of power, and it violates what? It violates equality only. Nobody should get that kind of power. Okay, and how to solve it in your constitution? It's already given in your constitution. You have the right to if any fundamental right is gone, then right to this thing you have. Okay, constitutional remedies you have, that is article 32. So that is why people, some are telling, some institutes are telling article 14, some are telling 32. So if it asks like violates, I think it should be 14. Okay, and how to solve it? It is article 32. 28 is something else. 28 is your religious instruction in schools or something, and 44 is uniform civil code. It has nothing to do. Okay, so 44, 28 you can blindly eliminate, but this 14 and 32. Okay, 14 is the best possible answer here because UPSC is always looking for best possible, but 32 also many people have done. So I don't tell that you are done some blunder or thing in exam hall. In the pressure, you could have thought it that way, so it is okay. Okay, if you have done, if it's a negative, okay, let it be negative. Anyway, result have come, but I am just telling you. Okay, next year when answer key comes, it can 99% be for article 14, else 1% chance is still there for article 32 based on whoever made this question. Okay, so that's why verbatim is tough. That is why I made it in the tough question section. Now, which one of the following factors constitute the best safeguard of liberty? Okay, again the best kind of thing. So here if you see, liberty means liberty. I think 2-3 times they have repeatedly asked about liberty now. Okay, in last from 2017 they're asking. So that again, liberty means what? You should have the power to do whatever. Because liberty definition also was once asked. That time they told like completely people being able to do whatever they want. So for that you have to have separation of powers. Okay, you have to have separation of powers, executive, legislature, and the judiciary you have, and that is why you have this thing. It's this thing, but a safeguard. That is where the thing is there. Okay, safeguard thing. A committed judiciary is also needed. Okay, if something is violated, and to protect your liberty, you need a committed judiciary. So that is why here these two will not be anywhere the answer, but people are confused between A and D. So I cannot tell a final answer here. Okay, the debatable question only 50% I can tell, or more weightage I can give for separation of powers. Okay, maybe a little bit only, not like I'm telling 90-10 this time, but at least 70% is there and 30% is this. Okay, so that again we have to wait for the answer key, because both looks okay. Because of this phrasing, best safeguard of liberty, you need a judiciary which is committed, but in the first place you need separation of powers to get the liberty itself. Okay, so because it is safeguard, maybe it can go towards committed judiciary also. So again you have to wait for the answer key, and that is why I have put under tough category. So this in Doctrine of Separation of Powers, an article in the online I saw, in that they are telling it is there to preserve the human liberty. Okay, so that way, as I told, in research wise, if you see, it is leaning more towards the other one. Okay, the separation of powers. Now here again a very difficult question. In India, there is no law restricting the candidates from contesting in one Lok Sabha election from 3 constituency. Okay, so this is an extreme statement, and because of that many people would have eliminated. Okay, and that's actually wrong also. This is one, if you see, one is a wrong statement, because we have a law. Okay, we have a law in which we are telling you can only do up to 2 constituency. Okay, but UPSC played with the people's mind by putting a very what is a complicated statement in the next one, that one person has already contested in 3. So when you see that, you will think like, now how can the first one be wrong? Okay, because you're telling like only 2 people can do, then how can the second statement be correct? So this is where UPSC tricked you people. Okay, this actually, the hint was 1991. Okay, this rule actually came in 1996 only. So before that they used to do 3 constituencies. Okay, so 2 is actually true. This is a factual and a true statement. So 1991 was the hint for you. If you knew, 96 only Representation of People Act was amended, and this 2 constituency thing came. Okay, so 3 you cannot contest. Okay, so 1 is wrong. 1 is wrong means eliminate this. So now you are stuck with 2 only, or 2 and 3 only. So that is where the third statement you need to know, and that is why this is a tougher question, because this one you may not know. As per the existing rules, if a candidate contests in one Lok Sabha election from many constituency, okay, his or her party should bear the cost of by-elections to the constituencies vacated by him or her in the event of him or her winning all the constituency. Like even Modi, he from 2 places, okay, Varanasi and UP and Gujarat, you can take 2 places he would have fought election, and maybe he would have won from both the places, but he can finally has to leave one, right? Maybe only this one he selected. So what about this? This is the place where by-elections come into place. There's a concept called by-elections. Even yesterday we did a video. Okay, so by-elections will happen. So here somebody else has to come in this by-election. This seat is vacant now. Okay, because Modi left this. So this one, the expense will these people take? That is what they're asking. The expense to this seat, because these people only took it and left it. So that by-election should they take? Okay, so that actually, this is a suggested reform. Okay, this is a reform, but there is no existing rule now. That is why this is a very difficult question. You have to know the total detailing of it. So this is wrong. So answer is 2 only. Only that factual whatever blunder they gave, that is the true statement. Statement 1 is wrong because of the law is existing, and statement 3 is wrong because the law is not existing. Okay, so here if you see, I went into the Election Commission page. Okay, the Ministry of External Affairs and all. Here if you see the 1996 this was this rule, section 33(7) of this one, a person cannot contest from more than 2 constituency in a general election for Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha. Okay, so the rule is there, so 1 is wrong. Another one, I could not get any proper research. When we Google documents and we compare with many other coaching institute data and explanations, from that I have not got the exact thing, but there is no rule. Okay, in our Representation of People Act, I have completely scanned through the document. Nowhere there is such rule. Okay, there is no such rule where you have to take the expense for that. Now with reference to India, consider the following statement. judicial custody and this police custody thing, this was in news, but unfortunately that news nobody would have read it, okay, because that was related to this Riya Chakrabarti arrest. Okay, this one Indian Express, an article was there in September 2020, even we missed to cover it. In that, if you see, a detailed explanation is given about what is police custody, what is judicial custody. So here if you see, a judicial custody means an accused is in the custody of the concerned magistrate, and such accused is locked up in police station and not in jail. So the first part is okay, till here it is okay, but locked up in the police station and not in, that is where it is wrong. Okay, police station means it is police custody, they are asking judicial custody. Okay, so that is in the magistrate thing, it is in the jail only, okay, prison only. So that is why this is wrong. Now second one, during judicial custody, the police officer in charge of the case is not allowed to interrogate the suspect without the approval of the court. This is actually true. Okay, so answer here is 2 only. So that was totally given in this article. Okay, there is a section where police custody was judicial custody, and they are telling the police custody means that the person is confined at a lockup or remains in the custody of the officer. Judicial custody means that the person is detained under the purview of the judicial magistrate, is lodged in the center or state prison. Okay, not in the lockup. Okay, and here again continuing the article, if you see, different differences they have given. Okay, interrogation, the police custody investigation authority can interrogate, okay, police custody, but in judicial custody you need the permission of the court. That's what they are telling, approval of the court. Okay, and here again judicial custody while the person under responsibility of the magistrate, and the prison manual comes into picture from routine conduct of the person. Okay, so there is a manual and all, so that and all has to be followed. Okay, so there is needing of the approval, so second statement is true. Now next one, again a similar question. Parole. Okay, this also one question. Last 2 questions, if you see, are not there in your Lakshmikant, not there in your NCERT. This had to be derived from your maybe knowledge from observation, or maybe in news or in movies. You would have seen all these things in movies. Based on that, you could have taken a calculated guess. Now, when a prisoner makes out a sufficient case, parole cannot be denied to such prisoner because it becomes a matter of his right. This is where it is wrong. Okay, this is verbatim, exactly I'll show you from which page article they took it. So it is not a right. Okay, parole is not a right. Everyone won't get that. If it was a right, it will be there in your Lakshmikant textbook. Okay, it is not a right. It is just a privilege kind of thing. It is given to people. So everyone also won't get it, like murderers or many like terrorist kind of people, they won't get parole. Okay, then again, state governments have their own prisoner release on parole rules. Okay, there's a prisoner release on parole rules. This is there. Okay, it varies from state to state. Okay, so this is actually true. Okay, so answer again is 2 only. So here if you see, I'll show you where there is a news item in 2019. Okay, in the Indian Express again. So difference between parole and furlough. So this one, if you see, same lines I'll show you here. State governments have their own prisoner release on parole rules. Okay, same line. And we also did not cover it. And you know, prison is a state subject. This we covered it. So based on that, you could have derived it. Okay, this is there in our test series and Lakshmikant lecture and all. Based on that, if you want, you could have derived it. Okay. But this exact verbatim is taken from this article. Okay, and if you see here, multiple murders and these kind of people are not eligible for parole also. So it's not a right anyway. That again I'll show you. Okay, so here if you see, parole, this is just extra information. Okay, parole is granted by the state executive, and if you see a final decision on humanitarian consideration, and if it's rejected, you can even move to High Court. These are extra things so that next year if they ask, you can come to know. Okay, like if you see Sanjay Dutt on medical conditions and all, he was given parole. Okay, and here if you see furlough. In furlough, they are comparing furlough and parole. Okay, furlough is like a same thing, but for long-term people. Okay, like many years of imprisonment and all, they'll be given like a remission. Like, okay, go out, go and mingle with the society, go and live with your people. So that kind of right. That is a right. Furlough is seen as a matter of right. Okay, but parole, by contrast, is not a right. So this is what they made the first statement. Okay, parole is not a right. Okay, so this is why to dig out these articles it takes time. That is why the videos are delaying. Okay, so please understand, but this will be in the long term helpful for you. Next year on any question on furlough comes, you can just watch this. If you have watched this video, you will solve it easily. Okay, again if you see, parole is not granted to people who have sentenced to death, because if you are given, then they will run away, they will not come back. Okay, and again parole may be denied to a prisoner even if he makes out a sufficient case. See, prisoner makes out a sufficient case, same thing, but it can be denied. It's not a right. Okay, this again another article I went into the government document. Here if you see, not eligible for parole or furlough, what are the conditions? So some 4-5 conditions are given here. Okay, so that also you can, I'll just rub this so that you can pause it, and if you want to take screenshot, these are the conditions in which you can never get parole or furlough both. Okay, just make a note of it. Now one more question, I think. Okay, 2 more questions. So with reference to union government, consider the following statement. This and all I don't know why they are asking. If you see here, N. Gopalsamy Iyengar committee suggested that a minister and a secretary be designated solely for pursuing the subject of administrative reform and promoting it. This one, no one on the earth is going to know this, and I don't know why they're asking. This person is part of that committee and all that time when this ARC recommendations, all these were going on. So this is actually wrong. Okay. As far as I could search it, it is wrong. Okay, ARC report 1 and 2 is there. That in your UPSC website also. Okay, if you want to know where is ARC report, there are many institutes making the summary already. We are also planning on that. But this, if you see UPSC website, it is. You simply search UPSC ARC report. In that there is a scanned version of many, like hundreds of pages are there. Okay, 74 pages. Okay, 74 pages. In this report, somewhere it is mentioned. Okay, it is the ARC recommendation. It is not this committee recommendation. Okay, this whatever is written. This ministry and secretary be designated solely for pursuing the subject of this thing. This is a ARC 1 recommendation and not a Gopalsamy thing, though that is wrong. So 1 is wrong. And second statement, in 1970, the Department of Personnel, okay, was constituted on the recommendation of, again, see, ARC. So they were referring some ARC document, whoever made this question and made these two statements. So 1966, and this was placed under the Prime Minister charge. This is what is wrong here. It is not Prime Minister, it is Cabinet Secretary. Okay, else everything was correct. So here again, this is wrong, and answer is neither 1 nor 2. Okay, these are all very, very factual, and I expect you to skip these questions. Okay, you go to the About Me page of this Personnel Department of Personnel. It is mentioned, okay, same, everything is correct. 1970s it was formed, but created under the Cabinet Secretary, not under the Prime Minister. That is the reason it is wrong. Okay, so this one is, as I told you, About Me page of every ministry and all, you cannot study the history part. Okay, you cannot study, it is not relevant. You should have ideally skipped it. So this is okay, it is over. So this was a very difficult paper, and the conclusion is again same only. Unpredictable UPSC is gone. It is now ugly PSC exam. This is just, I'm calling it this time because people in the 2 hours cannot solve these many questions. Okay, your cutoff and all will be very low only when it comes next time. You wait and see for the cutoff. And people ask me like why it's taking time, but I hope you understand. Okay, when we are digging out these things, it takes time. So full episode will come later, but subject wise I'm doing mini episodes already. If you see history, out of the 21, 13 we could have claimed, 13 or 14 are there. Science 5 out of 11, 6 were very difficult. Polity now it's like 12 out of 18, or maybe if debatable questions are gone, 11 or 10 out of 18. Okay, so totally if you see around 30 to 50 were solvable now remaining 50 is more there. In that 50 I am expecting again 20 to 25 will be there, which is solvable. Okay, because economics and almost everything was there in my test itself. So again this year also 50 plus questions I am thinking it will be there from our test series. Okay, so these 3 if you have not seen, again, okay, Polity you have seen now. These 2 please go and watch it again, so you know, okay, what is the relevance of a very good test series. Okay, and how much important it is to read between lines. You have to again revise it. Okay, so just to avoid making the video lengthy, I'll just tell the remaining thing in the remaining video, but hope this is making sense to you. Okay, UPSC is difficult. They are asking you very like old current affairs, irrelevant non-textbook things, so you have to be little more, what to say, alert, vigilant. You have to observe things, you have to practice more, you have to learn the same test again and again. Only then you will remember it in the exam hall. Okay, so still if you are not enrolled, if you are having many doubts, if you feel like you prepare so much and still failing, please WhatsApp me. Okay, we'll give you foundational videos to start from starting. Next 7 months we'll train you so good that you will easily pass. Okay, so please give your best. We will try to help you. Thank you, and have a nice day.